Happy astrological new year, Libra. So this reading is for Libra's sun sign or rising ascendant sign, and we're going to have a look at your astrology and a couple of tarot readings. So this new year relates to when the sun moves into Aries, the Equinox, and it's going to cover from April to April next year. So the astrological placements for Libra. You have Pluto that sits in your 5th sector. Now that's going to be there for a while. This is going to be a long-term thing for you guys. And what it's doing is it's slowly sort of transforming how you feel about family, how you feel about, so in other words, transformations within your, say, to do with your children can be happening, but also can be transforming what you like to do for fun or entertainment and how you express yourself, and also can you can find new creative skills during this time. The 6th sector, your sector of work and daily routine, you have Mercury conjunct the node and also Mars sitting in that placement. So Mercury conjunct the node is all about communicating and connecting with others that are of like-mindedness, people coming together for to share, for team effort, to collaborate ideas. It's a great time for negotiations and transactions. Negotiations or business deals, signing documents, anything like that where you've got to discuss ideas and plans with others. And with Mars there as well, there's going to be a very, very active time for work and in your daily routine as well. So with that Mercury node, it's time when I feel like you can really enjoy your workspace or your home life. If you're home every day, like I said, that's where you spend your day. There could be lots of good friendships being made in your workspace and good connections and also good relationships. With Mars, it can represent a bit more of a challenge, but it's with others, but it's also about getting on board and everybody actively contributing to to what you're working towards. Mars has a really nice soft trine to Jupiter going on here. So with that, it means that you, with your work and then with your Jupiter is actually positioned in a fabulous place at the 10th sector. This is going to mean there's lots of opportunities to expand through your work, and this is going to allow you to, a very productive year, but it's also going to allow you to reach higher goals than you've set for yourself before. You're really going to want to expand on your ideas, and really put things into action with that Mars-Jupiter trine. The 7th sector of relationships is also the house of Libra, and this is where the lineup is for the equinox. So it's sitting there in Aries, the opposite sign to Libra. We have the Sun, Neptune, Saturn, Moon, Venus, and Chiron all connecting. So with the Sun, Neptune, Saturn connection, this can be a bit challenging on relationships. These are more personal relationships in this point, those that you're in touch with on a constant level. Generally, it relates to the marriage or partnership placement, but also those that aren't in relationships, it can relate to those that you are spending a lot of time with. With Neptune, that combination, the Sun, Saturn, there's a bit of a feeling of wanting to separate or make changes, but with Neptune there, it's sort of a bit scary. We can feel like, what will that look like? It all feels unknown and uncertain. Also, it gives us a lot of doubt and fears over change, but at the same time, there's almost a desire to break away, because things can feel like they are either draining actually, your energy. And with this is a really strong healing combination that everybody's got going on in different places. For you, it could be a relative partner maybe needing to go through some healing, or it could be that you're, if it's relative to you, it's like this is a time where you need to go within and to actually really find, working through the unconscious mind of experiences that have created blockages, because it's more to do with the esoterical side or the metaphysical side, spiritual side, and the emotional side of healing than the actual physical healing itself. The moon, Venus, is also in that 7th sector, so that's, you know, actually a very loving combination. It's very caring, and you've got Chiron there, which is very much about healing as well. So this is still about healing the emotions around relationships, but it's also that, again, opportunities to come to heal, to express, to express more affection and love for each other, is very strong. So the 8th sector has Uranus in it. Now that isn't going to be for much longer. Uranus moves into Gemini, which will be in end of May, June. And with Uranus moving out of your 8th, it's been your 8th for quite a while. You know, again, this is sort of, Uranus relates to change, and you may have felt sort of unsettled with that, because it's in the birth and death process. It's in the 8th sector, where we are needing to release things that are deep within our subconscious minds. And Uranus here, it's like things can come to you and really help you understand what is going on within that deep unconscious mind. Jupiter is actually making a lovely semi-square to Uranus on this chart, and so Jupiter-Uranus, that's a relief card. It's like when tension's been built up, and then suddenly a situation is released, or problems have been there, relationship issues, family issues, work issues, whatever it may be, financial issues, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, thank goodness, we absolutely needed that to come in and to clear the air, or to bring in new opportunities and positive changes for a more productive future. So, you know, it's about really expanding your ideas and what you're wanting to, you know, to really create for yourself with that as well. Because Jupiter in that 10th sector, and the 10th sector is all about aspiring to your ideals. It's about, you know, the goal that you're trying to achieve, what you're wanting to reach. And Jupiter in the 10th sector is seen in people with very successful, seen in charts of very successful people, I should say. And with Jupiter there, it's because they just like, there's this drive to keep growing, to keep expanding, to, you know, whether that's financially or whether that's to do with knowledge and studies or learning, you know, but it's also an idea, it's also a time where you will be looking at a bigger picture, and will you be thinking bigger, and really, again, wanting to expand on what you're wanting to create for yourself. And finally, we have the South Node in the 12th sector, and that South Node is always opposite the North Node. The North Node sits there in your 6th, which, you know, by the way, could bring in, people could be bringing in work opportunities or changes for you, with those nodes connecting there in the 6th and Mercury. But there could be some news or interest into new things, and people from the past could be coming into your life to bring new things for you as well. So the South Node in that 12th sector, it sort of quite likes to be there, because it sort of quite fits there. It's all to do with our past lives. It's to do with the sort of at a deeper level of the unconscious. It's like where we draw people to us that we feel we've met before, we know before, but we feel it hasn't been in this lifetime. So very deep and special connections can come from this point. Vivid dreams of past lives can happen from this point as well. So let's have a look at your cards. I'm going to do the Celtic cross spread for the first spread. So Libras are very much into peace, and you know, you've got the peaceful card here, the star. You know, this is all about a new life and about peace and about connecting to nature, feeling connected to the universe and to all things. And you also got the spiritual card here of the Hierophant, who is looking after things, saying, "Look, don't worry, Libra. This is all, you know, things are changing and moving forward, and sometimes it feels like we haven't got control in our life, and this is when the universe is sort of taking over and making things happen for us. So you might find it's one of those times, though this isn't going to come up in the spread, so it's sort of probably more the energy you've been in and maybe moving out of, where now you can more take the wheel back. And also this is about communication, so it's a great time for interaction, connections, and relationships, and like I said, healing relationships, or any of any type of relationship could be quite prevalent this year. So, nice. Wow, very good opportunities and time for change for Libra. So let me just okay. So as Uranus goes out of the 8th, it's moving into the 9th sector, which is happening around, I might have already said this, sorry, I've done too many today. It's happening around the end of May, beginning of June. And as it comes into the 9th, it can bring in more opportunities. And it does look like you have a really big opportunity coming, which is going to create a lot of changes. Now, this is relative to, I think, your career and your direction and your focus, because it's like this is the World card is like having Jupiter in the 10th house. It's like reaching the top. I've got so far. What's left for me? What do I do now? Do I create a passive income? Do I just work part-time and just offer my skills? So that when all the skills that you've been working on come together for this one thing, and it's like it's been a hard journey to get there, but you are coming in, no matter what age, you're coming into this space where things are just going to come together and fall into place and create changes for you. And this is the opportune time to really utilize a lot more of the skills and the knowledge that you've gained from the old cycle, and you will reap the rewards from the old cycle. So looks like a really good year for Libra for that, especially career and property investment too. And I think this is coming again through this Jupiter trying to Mars. So there's some situations that haven't worked out here. So this is it has been a bit of a tough time. These cards are saying for Libra, where you haven't really known what to expect. Can't quite see where you're going, and it's like as we move into April, things are really starting to shift, and we're just about there. There could be some plans that did not move forward, or that you're feeling disappointed because things haven't quite worked out how you wanted them to. But I feel like this is very temporary. This isn't the end of it. It's actually just the end of you holding on to feeling like there's something here that you needed to be happy, and it's like you release that and you realize actually I can do what it's going to make me happy anyway, regardless of this thing I've been waiting on, and then you'll find that actually things are going to work in the direction that you wanted them to go. Maybe the universe it's not going to look like you imagined. The universe could give it to you in a different way, but it's absolutely coming in with this World card here. So there does seem to be for Libra sort of sudden changes. Libra, by the way, is esoterically ruled by Uranus, and they're Libra, of course, you're ruled by Venus, but esoterically you're ruled by Uranus, and you've got the Uranus card covering over you. And when I learnt that, I thought, well, that makes sense, because a lot of Libras are more centric than Aquarians. Aquarians can be very Capricorn-like and very non-eccentric, and that's because that's your true soul. Your true nature is just to be free, to express yourself, to be a bit quirky, to love change, to do random things, to be excitement and enjoying life and experience. And that's what Uranus brings. And you've got that card covering you, and I feel like that you actually really just wanting to get on with changes, really wanting to get into this new cycle. This old cycle feels like it's dragging out, and there's been these problems here that you've been trying to solve or nut out or work out, and it's been really quite hard on the mind trying to figure all this out. And it's like you're moving to a calmer time where you're going to feel more at peace, a time where you're going to reach more into your heart and less into the mind. Being an air sign, of course, you are ruled by the mind. Even though it is Venus, there is still a lot of that really, really sharp, agile, and ability to create businesses, to make things happen. And with this, it's more like, what am I more, not so much what am I wanting to create, what am I thinking about, what am I nutting out? It's more, what am I feeling? What am I connecting with? How emotionally do I feel? So interesting, that's sitting there in the outcome for you to be in a stronger, more stable emotional place where you feel you can give out to others without feeling like, without feeling vulnerable. This is an excellent time for any entrepreneurial Libras, and they generally are entrepreneurs. You have that opposite quality. You're the opposite sign of Aries, but the opposite signs share so much in common, but they just do things in complete opposite ways. And with with that, it's like, again, bringing all your skills together and creating. So any Libras that are wanting to create a business or a situation from home, could be to do with creativity, and sort of what I was getting there is like, I don't know, beautification. It could be to do with beauty, or it could be to do with design even. Or it could be to do with a lot of things, but I feel like it's that sort of seems to be coming up here. It's whatever your heart enjoys, whatever you feel connected to. It's like, this is the time to get on with it and just do it, because it's going to happen. Not immediately, but you are in the preparation for that. Also going to be a really nice time to be hanging out with close friends, close soul family, got soul family, sisterhood, brotherhood connections, and there may even be others that you're wanting to include into business or work together with or share ideas with. So with all that Mercury conjunct node stuff that I was saying, again, that's all coming out for you to share and organise and plan and work in teamwork with others. But when I say teamwork, it's more one or two people that fully get you, that you fully trust, and that would be perfect for new situations. You may also feels like you may also do a little bit of travel to connect up with family, and I'm getting June, but also December, so maybe around Christmas as well. And so again, this is to do with connecting up with those that you feel very close to. And the environment, it feels like there could be a little bit of power struggle going on here, and a bit of a negative attitude coming from somewhere else, from someone else. But I feel that you're going to get some good results with regards to, because, like I said, Libra likes peace, and whether they just turn a blind eye or just turn their back and ignore, or whether they react, it's going to depend on their type of Libra, because all the air signs generally are pretty quick to flare up and use their vocal cords. But with this, it's like, if you do choose to speak your truth, and I always ask to speak from my heart when I have to do this, and it comes out beautifully. Generally, if you do decide to do that, then it sort of feels like that's what you're meant to do. It's sort of, I'm not saying, it's almost like not confronting it, but just saying you're speaking your truth and speaking it from that place where because you're very capable of seeing the other side of, how someone else might feel, or how the other side of situations. You're a great mediator, and I think you're a great negotiator as well. And it looks like you can verbally sort of get on top of the situation. So, like I said, very stable, very productive, and lots of options and choices, coming up for you to go, what is, something new, something that's going to come in, it's going to come in suddenly, you weren't expecting it, but it's the opportunity to go, well, how does this make me feel? Is this where I'm going to feel peaceful? Is this what I'm passionate about? And I think it's going to be, looking at these cards, because it's something you've been wanting for a while, but just hasn't been quite working out until, like I said, until we move into about June, when Uranus moves out into your ninth, and Uranus being your ruler, it's sort of going to the ninth, your esoteric ruler, going to your ninth, it's going to open the world up to you. So let's have a look at the zodiac spread. See what else I can see. What I'm finding with these readings as I go and do the zodiac spread, I'm getting a lot of the same cards, just a little bit more information, or sometimes just confirmation, or both. Wheel of Fortune is the first card down, so this is going to be a very interesting year for you guys. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is when things do a flip or a change or a turn of events. You know, it can be very favourable, or sometimes it can be really stressful. So let's just see what other cards are coming up around that to get an indication. 7. Okay, what it is yes, you know, it is a bit of a flip in the sense of things can just turn around for you, where you're thinking you're going along this track and all of a sudden there's an opportunity and you've got to make a big decision about where you want to place yourself. Do you want to be in this position? Do you want to be moving to this country or making this big change? It is a big change. And so that's, like I said, something you weren't really anticipating, maybe thought about, pondered about, but couldn't quite see it happening in the near future. But these cards are indicating it is going to happen in the near future. Of course, you've got the Magician, which was the outcome in your other spread, and that's sitting in the 10th sector, just like Jupiter sitting there in your 10th sector, just like the Emperor, you know, just like that card coming up in the outcome. And yes, we have got pretty much almost all the same cards, so probably 9 out of 12. Okay, 14, sorry. So yes, we have this sort of flip happening. This is happening quite soon. It's also going to be sort of quite obvious to people that you're going through your own personal changes, and you know, it's a really going to sort of prove to be quite productive. Now, when it comes to finances and assets, it's like you are going to take control of things if you feel like they haven't been in your control. You know, if there's something you need to sort out around that, this is a time to take control. There might be people pressuring you at a financial level, or demanding from you, but you know, again, this is time to take control. So that is relating to taking action card, interestingly, and it's sort of saying that, you know, like, say, you know, you're wanting to create something, you're wanting to get into the house, you want to, you know, it's like you're going to take control of your work situation, or you're going to take control of your money situation, you know, or if it's at a personal level, it's like you're going to take control of those circumstances relative to assets, money, security. But also this position also relates to values. You know, what you feel is when I say values, it's like what you really value, what's important to you, and you know, it's sort of in that place of what's needing to be released. So it's like you might not agree with others' values, or you may feel like you're not out of alignment with other people's values, and if that's sort of going on, it's sort of like it's very hard to share or be close to those people, because I feel like this will be a time when you are sort of really speaking up and speaking your truth. So great time for you know, for the active mind to be going for it with creative ideas, and also to be really expressing yourself out into the sort of wider community. Your communicational skills are going to be really on form. You're going to feel really confident if you are sort of in a situation of being in the public eye, or needing to do something where you're having to be in front of others. I feel like you're going to feel very confident and be very clear about what it is you are presenting. Now, this is the Hermit sitting here in the home environment, which is saying that you really wanting to spend a lot more time at home this year. You're wanting to sort of in your own space. Now, this is like, could be working from home, doing work on the home, working on your projects or your business from home. But either way, it's a sort of do not disturb time. Put up a sign, because it's like, if you don't live alone, you're going to want your own space, because you've got all these goals that you're wanting to achieve this year, and it's a new set of goals, a new direction that you're looking for. For some, if you were to see an opportunity and it's like, oh, I have to travel, and you might find yourself, well, I'm living alone, because I'm working in this place and I have to spend more time on my own, you're actually going to really enjoy that. So it would be the perfect time for that as well. So it feels like there's things you're wanting to get into order with regards to family situations. When I say family, children, or, it's like, I think you're going to be, it's a really great year, but it's all about sort of work. It's not about like getting out and enjoying yourself and having fun, because your fun is coming from what you're creating, from your new found excitement and your new opportunity. I'm not saying you're not going to go out and do any of these sort of things that are more leisurable, but it just feels like you're just very busy and very organised to be sort of at that social level. And Libra is a very social sign, and it's not that there's any lack of social things to do, but it's more like, no, you'd rather be in your home space again, working on what you really have put your mind to. Again, lots of ideas around your work, and I do believe here you are the master and the creator of your own thing, your own work. So if you're working for somebody else, it may just be that you suggest to them this would be a better position for you, or you would prefer a change, or maybe you're looking at something which is going to give you more freedom, more say, and more control. Otherwise, if you are working for a company, you might just be in that leadership role anyway, or be moving into that leadership role this year. Big decisions, again, about relationships. Some Libras might find that they have relationships abroad, or in different places, and they've got to make a decision about, should we live together. Libras aren't, instant to commit. Quite, they do like their own space. So, it can sort of suit them to have a long distance relationship, or just a situation where it's I've got to be here some of the time, but I've got to be here some of the time. But there does seem to be some decisions about sort of, where is it you want to be? And this looks more for the second half of this year, where you could be making a bigger decision about commitment within relationships. Or if you're already married or something and you've been not being able to spend as much time together, I feel like as we're getting closer to the end of the year, this could be where you find the home where you live together, or where you both are, focusing more on the home and creating family, than the work focus. So again, we have decisions. Libra relates to this card. This is the Temperance card. It's my Libra card. It's the decision card or the indecision card. I mean, Libras can, depending on what they've got in their chart, but they can be a bit indecisive at times. If they had Mercury there, yes, Libras can be, shouldn't I don't know, I'll bet it's just not to do anything and just stay where I am. If you've got Scorpio there, you're going to be able to make decisions quickly, and that's going to be it, and you're not going to look back, or you're not going to, you may not be open to other things, or if you've got it in Leo, well then, I'm talking about Mercury, that is, well then again, you could make your decisions really easy. So, when I say Libras and decisions, that's, depending on the chart, but this is sort of wavering, trying to decide, like, okay, yes, it's like you've already made your decision, but then you're sort of, is this going to work? You're sort of still trying to weigh it all up, and or wanting, it's like you might go, yes, I want this thing, but then I have to give up this, not quite wanting to give up what you have to give up. But this is sort of saying, it's okay, Libra, you can put both feet in, especially as you go into the second half of the year. I'm not saying Libra wants to put both feet in, but I think once you do, you're going to feel better for it. You're going to feel more grounded for it, and you're going to feel like you can put more energy into it once you've actually gone, yes, I'm fully 100% in this now. 4, 6, 7. So within the, I think Libra's going through a bit of a time, again, emotionally, where I'm going to say, again, you had the, follow your heart card there. When I say emotionally, I feel like you're aspiring to reach out to others, to help, to be of service, I say service, not your typical sort of service. It's more like just to be of help, just to listen, just to know, just to be an ear. Like they'd be, they're good communicators and good listeners. Sort of more like a counselling sort of thing I'm picking up here than actually, helping in any other way. But I feel like not a service that you're getting paid for. This is just what you do naturally. But you're going to find that you're increasing a lot of heart energy and you're reaching out to others from a very heart-based place as well, and able to really help others to understand themselves just through being able to communicate easily with you. The Magician in the 10th sector is really fantastic because, again, it's just like with that Jupiter there in the 10th house and the Magician there. The Magician is brings in a new cycle. It's where we go, right now, how can I utilize all of my skills? I've just been using one of my skills or this aspect that I'm good at, but there's actually a lot more to me than that. I like variety, I like change, and I like to be stimulated. So, with this, it's like bringing all the skills together and bringing it into the one thing that can be found in career, or it can be found when we decide to create business. But it's saying here that you are masters of your own destiny. You are the creator, and we all are the creator of our own destiny. But you've got a really powerful, magical manifestation power coming in this year, that especially in that 10th sector, where dream big, because you are going to be achieving your goals and getting started with new things. Especially, I feel that opportunities are coming in over the next 3 months, but again, especially in the second half of this year. So, you've got, good friendships and connections around you. In the 11th sector, you have the 4 of Rods, and that often relates to the home to me, or just feeling of stability, the feeling of, this has been a long-term thing. This is where I feel stable. And so talking about, the communities or connections to others, friendships with those that you want to reach out with. Like I said, it's about a real busy, fun, social time, but I feel like you would just enjoy, having a drink with somebody, in their home, not necessarily yours, but in theirs, and just being present with people. It's really quite a nice card to be in that position. And finally, you have the soul connection card here sitting in your 12th. So it's a very, you'll have these bonds and you go, we've got such a deep connection, but we just can't seem to make it happen, or we can't make a decision, or she lives here or he lives there, and it's like, I feel like you're drawn together to come together. But I feel like this year is all about finding you, finding what really makes you happy. And, it's a good year for relationships anyway, but for those on their own, the right person could come in at any time or be around you now. But the focus isn't going to be on that. The focus is going to be on what you can create for yourself. And next year, I feel, is going to be a lot about, home, environment, and working together with others in relationships in a much stronger way. So that doesn't mean, if you're already in a relationship, you're already doing that. It just means that you'll be doing a lot more of that next year, where this year seems to be about this goal that you're wanting to achieve relative to your own personal skills. So I hope you enjoyed that, Libra, and have a great day.